Hi, I'm Draken, and this is the DrakenWerks, and this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode this week, but it's not without its bits and pieces in there. But I was out digging out some of the areas underneath the ocean there, and then I ended up with this little fellow who decided he would want to come down and play with some of the blocks that we'd broken away. But I kind of got a bit concerned about him. I mean, it's not a very deep sort of bit of water for him. You know, it's like in the middle of this underground cavern and everything else, and he was hopping around. I was like, is he going to end up like drowning himself? And you can see he actually fell out of the water there as well. And I was like, I know this can kill dolphins when that happens, so it was like, quick, knock him back in there. But it was just something that happened at the beginning. I was quite surprised that he'd actually got down there, but eventually he made his way back up into the water. But it's part of what I've been doing this week is clearing a bit of the space under the water in the dockyard area, so there was enough space to be able to put ships and everything else properly, because it was quite shallow water otherwise. So it's not really anything exciting to report on that one, but it was just something that cropped up. But one of the other things we did was we popped down the shopping district, something we haven't done for a while, is go and check on our diamond situation, our shop situation. So we went and grabbed a few diamonds from around the various stores, and we had to stock things back up again. You can see we've run out of enchanted bows already. They seem to have sold well from the Diamond Land store there, but we also gained a few diamonds as well from like the concrete store. I have been coming out and collecting the diamonds as they've been appearing, so this isn't like the only diamond run. I have been picking them up as they're going along, but it was like, it's about time I did a restock, so I did go off and grab some more concrete and restock that store there. That has probably been one of my best money spinners on the server, has been the concrete store. It's done us very, very well on that front, and it's what keeps us in diamonds, and in a very nice amount of diamonds, but we're getting diamonds from the other stores as well, which is pretty cool. And you can see we got a few here from the fungi store that keeps us going. But here's one of the other problems we had. You may remember last week we went to end city bus raiding. Again, can't get it right. I'll work out what is the correct terminology at some point. But as you can see here, we have a load of shulker boxes. We have got a shulker monster developing. It's like, seems the more shulker boxes I got, the more of a monster it has become, and the more it's growing in the base itself, which is becoming a bit of a nightmare and going around and doing the sort of various elements. But meanwhile, we are back into the base over here, and we've been working in the week. We've been doing a bit of streaming. We turned around and done some work both on a Tuesday and a Thursday on the streams and everything else. The Thursday one wasn't anything major, it was just a bit of terraforming to show off. But on the Tuesday, we decided we were going to work down in a Pacific area. Okay, as you just saw from the time lapse, we built a brand new ship over here in the dry dock, ready to go. And in fact, actually, the dry dock gates on that one is actually open, so we got the water in there. The ship is nearly completed. But actually, I came back about a day or two later, and I built this one as well in the dry dock beside it. So we have two classes of the ship, but one in different sort of states of completion. So this one is still, the dock is still dry, the water is not in there. And we have basically the basic shell of the ship is starting to come together, but it hasn't been built fully yet. I will keep it at that point. Maybe I've got to put some bamboo scaffolding on there like we've done with the bigger ship. We'll have to do that at some point. Maybe missed a few bits there. But then we also have a pretty much near completed ship here with the gates open, the water in the area there. One thing it doesn't have on board is any cargo, because obviously it's just been built, so it won't be carrying cargo. But as I said, the other things we've done here is we came out here. I mean, you may remember we got the third farm out here on the outskirts of the city. I built this sort of rickety bridge. I think we built that the other week, actually. But we've also gone through and sorted out all the fields as well. We've turned around and put all the crops, so it's now got all its crops. And I was coming out here, I was having to sort of update the map while I was out here. And a lot of the crops are pretty easy, you know, it's like all the wheat crops and everything else like that. But we also came up with a few other additional types of crops as well while we're out here. And I also built this little platform. This was done on Thursday's stream. We have like this little fishing shack out here on the edge here with a little fishing pier. Not quite complete yet. I might do a little bit more decoration around here. This area certainly needs a bit of terraforming as well. It's not near completion, but it's starting to get there. But then we have like these different ideas. I'm trying to come up with sort of new original ideas for crops. So we got this one. This is made from sea pickles sitting on granite blocks, just to give it that kind of different type of organic look. I don't know what it might be that's growing in the ground. Maybe marrows or something. And we come over the top here. We got a field of daisies there, and then we got these. These are like meant to be like mini cherry blossoms. Like you see the cherry blossom trees that we got around the base here and there. It's almost like they're sort of having a little bit of a nursery here, growing the cherry blossom trees in there. So it was kind of something I just came up with there. Trying to come up with sort of new and original sort of ways of doing crops, so that the crops aren't just always the same old. Yeah, it's just another field full of wheat sort of thing. You know, we actually have different types of fields. You know, we've got melons here as well, as you can see. And so it just breaks up the fields, and they just a little bit more interest out in the fields rather than it just being the same crop over and over again. But as I said, we did do a lot of terraforming. We got this area down here was terraformed. We did the sort of cliff face there and everything else. It just makes the area a little bit more interesting than what it was. It's not just a big plain area. It's got loads of wildlife and stuff. It's a lot of work for something that you can barely see, but still, it happens. And then we come back to the docks, and I got these ideas at the moment. So you can see we built the new ships down in the docks there, in the dry docks, and I sort of built an extra pier coming out. And I thought, well, actually, this is a good idea. We could actually turn around and build more ships down here. So using like Matica, I worked out that we could actually put one of each of the 3 different sizes of ships that we designed into the harbour here. So I'd probably get around to doing that at some point. I'll probably build another 3 ships facing here, and that will give us quite a nice full harbour down the front there. There's probably space over on the right there as well. Maybe we might be able to fit a small ship in, but then right on the far right we could put a bit of space where I'll probably build a few more harbour piers, and maybe we'll ask some of the other guys on the server who like building ships if they want to come down and build a single ship down there as well. But look who I also spotted on the server the other day. I spotted a quirky squid. I haven't seen him around for a very, very long time. Quirky squid, if you do not know, is an absolute blessing to the server. He's the guy who deals with all the technical side of the server itself, and he came onto the server because he was sorting out the remember we have a problem with the player heads in the Wandering Traders. It all produces the odd sort of coloured blocks and everything else, then all the wrong sort of design. So yeah, he popped on the server and managed to get that all fixed. So our Wandering Traders have now all been repaired, which is absolutely awesome. So we can actually start purchasing again from the Wandering Traders the correct heads from them. But that for the most part is me for this week. I wanted to sort of spend a little bit of time in the end here. They're just talking about, you may be aware that Mojang made a recent announcement that they're going to split the next update into 2. So instead of all of it coming out in the summer, 1.17 will have half of its update come out in summer, and then the terrain generation part of it is not coming out until December. A lot of people are aware of that, and some of you may also be aware that we were talking about as a server that we're probably going to go into the next season once 1.17 was updated, but this then causes a bit of a question. So we're not sure, I will say this right now at this episode, we're not sure what we're doing about that at the moment. We're a server of close-knit people, and we'll have a conversation amongst ourselves over the coming weeks as to what we want to do in regards to that. We've got a few ideas about the sort of things we might want to do. There's a few ideas that have been floated around, and we'll have a conversation, and there's no right and wrong answers either to what we want to do about these sort of things. You know, what we do for our server may not be right for the next server, and there'll be probably every SMP is probably going to be going through this exact same question, especially if they're like ourselves, we're like considering, well, actually maybe we should go into season 2 when 1.17 drops, and obviously if the terrain generation isn't there, do we want to go in and then sort of update to it later, or do we want to just stick where we are? Or there's so many questions about it. But I mean, it's absolutely the right. I mean, I know the community has a bit of a kind of some people are being like, oh, hang on a minute, yeah, this makes things difficult, and it does make things a little bit more awkward for people. But at the end of the day, Mojang are making the right choice for them as a company. Obviously they weren't happy with it, so they wanted to make sure they gave us the right product, as they've said, and they're also thinking about their team health as well, which is really important. I mean, we've had a load of awesome updates from this last year. Has been very difficult on things like COVID, so it is absolutely I fully appreciate the situation, the decisions they've had to make there, even if it does make things a little bit more difficult for us. So we'll adapt around it and we'll find a way around it. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we will let you guys know once we know what we're doing as well with it. But in the meantime, I've been Draken. You guys all take care, and we shall see you all again soon. Have a great one, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. We're supposed to say this on every single one, and leave a comment below if you've got any ideas about what we should do about the next season as well. Anyway, take it easy. Have a good one. Bye.